The Roblox Assassin Halloween event has a brand new dream knife. This is a really hard knife to craft. You need a lot of different knives in order to craft it, but it is probably going to be one of the best knives that this event has to offer. And in this video, we are going to be crafting that wonderful dream knife. So yeah, we're back on the Halloween event. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. It's been pretty fun. So previously we've done an unboxing and we also have completed the battle pass. Be sure to check out those other two videos if you haven't done so. But for this third and final video, we're going to be wrapping up the entire Halloween event, and we're going to talk about everything else it has to offer. And by the end of it, we are going to be crafting this wonderful dream knife right here, the Phantom Cleaver. This is a really hard knife to craft. It costs a lot of mythics and exotics to do so, but I actually wanted to start off with the bundle right here because there is actually a bundle here that you can buy. I decided let's go ahead and get it in this episode. Why not? You know, it's a pretty small bundle, so there's not too much to say about it. So it costs 500 Robux, so let's just go ahead and jump into it, and let's go ahead and buy this bundle right here, the Ghost Bundle. So there we go. Let's click buy, and we bought it, so that is awesome. And this bundle here gives some exotics as well as a knife effect, so that's going to be super exciting to look at. And like always, we are going to go ahead and start off with the effect right here, the Ghost Fire. So here it is on the default. That's not the default knife. I need to equip the default knife. I still had the mythic knife equipped from the previous episode. So here is the effect on the default knife. And yeah, as you can see, it is green fire on the knife. It's pretty realistic fire, actually. What is this called again? Yeah, Ghost Fire. And yeah, you can see it's actually some pretty realistic green fire on the knife itself. And when you kill someone with this effect, it actually looks pretty freaking cool. So let's see if I can pull off getting a kill here. This is honestly a really cool death effect. I think you guys are really going to like this if you haven't seen it yet. So let me go ahead and kill this dude. And kaboom! Look at that, dude. You can see that the body literally freaking explodes. And you can see a ghost coming out of their body. So that's basically the explosion. The ghost is coming out of their body. And then you can see the ghost fire effect going around their body as well. So now their body's on fire. But, you know, the coolest part of this effect is that freaking explosion where the ghost comes out of the body. That is like the coolest thing ever, dude. So yeah, that is a super cool effect. I would say this bundle is worth buying just because of that effect alone. But anyway, while we're on the topic of effects, I also want to give an honorable mention to the Great Pumpkin effect. This is another new effect that we got in this event through competitive mode right here. If you get enough points, you can get this effect. I did not really want to make a full-blown video on this effect or anything like that. So, you know, I'm just going to give the honorable mention here since we're on the topic of effects. And when you kill someone with it, you actually do also sort of get an explosion. Here's how it looks normally. You can see some pumpkins are appearing and disappearing. And kaboom. So as you can see, when you kill someone with this effect, you get a pretty similar explosion. You can see a giant pumpkin appear, you know, near their body. And then their body catches on fire. Just, you know, a normal fire color, an orange color. So yeah, that's the effect you get from competitive mode. Not part of the bundle, but something I did want to briefly mention here. And just getting all these small things out of the way before we go on to crafting the dream knife, which is going to be super cool, by the way, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, these effects are not tradable, so be sure to get them while you can. But we're going to go ahead and move on back to the bundle, and we are going to talk about the brand new exotic pet right here, the Ghosty. This pet honestly looks freaking adorable. It looks a lot like the pumpkin friend. I feel like it has, you know, generally the same designs, like the eyes and the smile. I feel like they're generally the same. And yeah, as you can see, it is a nice little green ghost right here. It's got its own little stubby arms, and it's got the eyes and the smile that the pumpkin friend does. And you can see that the pet does have an effect. You can see that same green fire effect on the pet. So yeah, the pet also has some ghost fire. So yeah, overall, really cute little pet right here. So let's put the pet away for now. Like always with most of the bundles, we'll put everything together a bit later. But for now, we're going to go ahead and move on to the exotic knife, the Ghost Mace. Here it is right here. And here is the Ghost Mace exotic from the bundle. So, you know, we don't have a lot of maces in Assassin. We obviously have the Flame Mace. We also have the Abyssal Mace that was in one of the bundles. And I think there might be some other maces that I don't remember off the top of my head. But we definitely don't have that many maces in the game. Probably less than 5. So, you know, having another mace in the game is a pretty warm welcome. You guys know I always liked using Flame Mace back in the day. So getting another mace that is pretty similar to flame mace is always cool to see. And yeah, as you can see, we have the ghost on this mace itself, just right on top of it. You can see that the green ghost is just around the mace. Here is the eyes and the mouth right here. Other than that, it is a pretty standard mace. So yeah, overall, this is a pretty cool knife. I definitely like the concept of it, although I'll be honest, the ghost on this mace, it looks like slime. I'm gonna be honest with you, just the texture and the way it looks, it just looks like there's slime on the knife. I don't really see a ghost from it. I feel like maybe if it was a different texture, it would look a bit less like slime. I don't really know. Not like it's bad. I do think this is a pretty cool knife. And again, a mace is always welcome. But I will say that the ghost on this knife, it looks more like slime than a ghost. It looks like a slime mace. I'll be real. And of course, we can go ahead and put the entire bundle together. Let's put in the effect and the pet. And here is the full bundle in action. So yeah, now the ghost mace has the ghost fire effect. So both the pet and the knife have the effect. And yeah, obviously it goes really well together. Really, you know, overall very green bundle, you know what I mean? And kill someone with it, and then there you go. There's the ghost bundle. Looks cool. One of the better bundles in the game, if I'd say so. Anyway, that's enough of the bundle. Let's go ahead and move on to the final part of this Halloween event, and that is the dream knife right here, the Phantom Cleaver. And yeah, this is going to require a lot of ingredients. As always, I'm just going to briefly go over the ingredients and how you can get them. Now, most of this stuff from this recipe right here is actually stuff you can get from normal cases, which is nice. You don't really need too many Halloween specific items for this crafting, which is really nice. So let's just go over everything, starting with the commons and then the exotics and then the mythics. So starting off with the commons right here, you're going to need 2 roughs and 1 prism. Both of these commons are actually in case number 2. So if you have case number 2 in the time shop, which is not available right now, but if it is available, you can probably open a couple of those case 2s and get those knives pretty easily. And you can also find both of those commons in the time shop for about 100 tokens each. So yeah, these 2 commons pretty easy to get. Just get them from either case number 2 or the time shop. Moving on to the exotics, you're going to need 2 Doombringers and 1 Darkblade. Now these are definitely a bit more tricky to get than the commons, but these are, you know, normal tier 1 exotics, so they are pretty simple to get. So you can get Doombringer from case 2 as well. So this is the same case as these commons right here. Doombringer is the 2% chance exotic from that case, so keep that in mind. And you can get Darkblade in the elite case, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, you can get Darkblade in the elite case. 20% chance exotic, you can get the Darkblade. You can also get both of these exotics from the timed shop if they are available for about 4,000 tokens each. So if you see them in the time shop, you can buy them as well. And alternatively, I believe you can get both of these exotics from crafting away 6 legendaries. As you guys know, putting together 6 legendaries should make you an exotic. I've got quite a few legendaries myself. Let's just go ahead and craft an exotic for fun, and let's see what we get. Maybe I'll get a Doombringer or a Darkblade. Nope, it's a Paladin. I don't need that. But I'm pretty sure you can get both of those exotics from crafting legendaries, if you have enough of them. And then lastly, you're going to need quite a few mythics, and this is where the crafting recipe gets really tricky and really difficult. You're gonna need 2 Plague Hunters, and that is the mythic knife that is in the new Halloween case, the skeleton case right here. 4% chance to get a Plague Hunter. Pretty low odds, but overall, nothing too difficult. A 4% chance, that's a 1 in 25. So, you know, if you keep at it and, you know, keep buying these keys and really grind the game, you know, you get a key every single day from just playing 10 rounds. If you get a lot of these keys and you just open a lot of skeleton cases, I think eventually you'll be able to get yourself a Plague Hunter, at least one of them. And then, you know, if you're lucky enough, you can get 2, or you might have to trade for another one. I would say that the hardest part of this crafting recipe is, without a doubt, the beam cores. Now, luckily, beam core is just a normal tier 1 mythic, so there's quite a lot of them in circulation, and you definitely can trade for them. They're not too hard to come across. But yeah, beam core is pretty difficult to get on your own. It is in the elite case right here. It is a 2% chance to get a mythic from this case. So you're already half as likely to, you know, get a mythic from this case than you are the skeleton case. And not to mention, the elite case is way more expensive. And not to mention, it's a 2% chance to get a mythic, but there's other mythics in this box. So you might hit this 2% chance, and you might not get the beam core. You might get one of these other mythics, which is not the worst thing in the world. These are still pretty good mythics. But when you want 3 beam cores, you know, you're going to want to get a beam core. And sometimes you're just going to get a spider instead. And it kind of hurts, honestly. So yeah, 3 beam cores, pretty tricky to get. If you don't have those by now, good luck to you. You can probably trade for them if you look around hard enough, but it is not going to be easy. But yeah, let's go ahead and put everything together. We have the 3 beam cores. Let's go ahead and put in some plague hunters. You guys remember that unboxing? I got all those plague hunters. I got plague hunters for days. Definitely more than enough to craft away for this dream knife. And then 2 Doombringers and a dark blade in here. And for last and certainly least, 2 roughs and a prism. There we go. And we can go ahead and craft the Phantom Cleaver. So yeah, let's go ahead and craft this knife. 3, 2, 1, and boom! There we go, the Phantom Cleaver. It's a little laggy whenever I craft, but there we go, the Phantom Cleaver. Look at that. And yeah, here it is. And this knife honestly looks really sick. This definitely deserves the title of a dream knife. This thing looks absolutely insane. Now, the knife itself is pretty simplistic. You know, it's basically just a cleaver. I think we have a handful of cleavers in the game already, but having another one is pretty welcome. And yeah, the knife itself is pretty simple. Mostly black with a little bit of pink, you know, very metallic, very rusty. Pretty simplistic cleaver, but what sells this knife for me and pretty much everyone are the effects on this knife. It looks insane. So we have some dark purple smoke around the knife, and you can also see right here we basically have 3 miniature black holes within the cleaver itself. So normally there would just be gaps here, but within these gaps we have some miniature black holes, which honestly looks really cool. They're really swirly, as you can see. We got some purple swirls around the black holes. So yeah, the effects on this knife just make it look so much cooler. I really like this knife. Unfortunately, it does not have a death effect of its own, but even so, just the effect on the knife itself just really sells it for me. It makes it look like a really cool knife. And this knife is going to be pretty valuable in the future because not only is it hard to craft, but it is limited time, and these limited time dream knives typically end up being really valuable. So yeah, keep that in mind. And with that, we are pretty much done with the Halloween event this year. We are completely finished. We got everything, all the knives that this event has to offer, and it has actually been a pretty good event. You know, obviously Assassin did not really get that many updates this year, and yeah, really just this year in particular, Prisman has sort of focused on his other projects. He's been working on Riotfall for quite a few years now. So he's been working on Riotfall. I think that game is still in development a little bit, but I think, you know, he's sort of starting to focus on Assassin a bit more. And, you know, he was focusing on some other Roblox projects that we won't be talking about. But yeah, Prism is confirmed there's going to be more updates to Assassin. And this first update was honestly pretty good. I wasn't expecting much because even Prisman himself said that, you know, this Halloween event is not going to have too many new things. It's not going to be all that it's supposed to be. But honestly, you know, there's been quite a few new knives. I'd say this is pretty standard for most events, but it was still pretty good. So I'm honestly pretty excited for what Christmas is going to have to offer, because the Christmas event is definitely going to be better this year. And I guess we'll just have to wait. But in the meantime, hope you guys enjoyed these wonderful Halloween videos. And yeah, bye.